Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, it's your host, Calvin Domingo, aka Steezy A. Smith, with Press Sports, back at it yet again with yet another exclusive interview. And of course, I'm not alone. I got a very important guest with me, a VIG, like I always like to call them, a very important guest. Joining me today, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the 14-year-old sensation, superstar Phenom. His nickname is hashtag Godspeed. He's ranked number one in the class of 2026 out of all dual threat quarterbacks. Please, without further ado, welcome in Mr. Legend Bey. What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Hey, I'm feeling blessed, bro. Like I said before the show, thanks for taking the time to hop on with us. I know you a young superstar in the making, so you a busy man yourself. Um, First of all, bro, where you at right now and what you up to?
Right now, I'm at home. I just got done with QB training. Like, I see about like 30 minutes ago.
Okay. Okay, for sure. And then if I'm not mistaken, you're from Frisco, Texas, right? So is that where you at?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. All right. Any plans the rest of the day?
Nah, I'm just gonna chill, ice up a little bit.
Ice up a little bit. Okay, no doubt. No doubt, bro. And it's summertime for you right now, right? Because obviously there's no more school.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What does a day in the life of Legend Bay look like when there's no school in session?
Right now, I wake up 5 o'clock, get myself ready. I brush my teeth, do all that, eat. By 6:30, I'm ready. Get out of the house, get there at 7, put work in to 8 o'clock. Then at 9, got skills with the school. We get that work in.
Get that work in. Okay. Hey, you wouldn't be where you at right now if you wasn't putting in that work. So, hey, I feel you. Keep striving for greatness. Keep putting in that work. But before we continue, before we begin, I'd be remiss not to mention the fact that over here at Press Sports, at least on the app and during these interviews, we want to feature users who have a story to tell. And Mr. Legend Bay, seeing as how you're a young prodigy, a young phenom, you got a big story to tell yourself. So, Legend, but we're gonna start off from the very beginning. What got you into football? How'd you get into football? Who got you into football and at what age?
All right, so it was my big brother that got me into football. We used to watch Walter Payton and Bo Jackson and a little bit of Marshawn Lynch. I used to just want to be I used to want to be a running back. Then when I got older, I progressed and I became a quarterback. So then that changed me into a dual threat quarterback. Then I started to learn the mechanics of quarterback, be able to throw more, like get more into quarterback. And now my mom takes me everywhere I need to go. I got siblings. I got a little brother named Flash. Trying to get him right.
Okay. So his nickname Flash. You got one? I'm pretty sure you got one too, right? Besides Godspeed, because I'm pretty sure you got multiple.
Yeah, they call me Beast.
They call you Beast?
Yeah, Beast mode.
Beast mode? Hey, I mean, well, speaking of that, remember that one play that I showed you via text, and it was the one featured. I think it was in the April Football Top 10. You was featured number 5 in the highlights that I called, and at the end, you actually pulled the beast mode where you start grabbing your you know what into the end zone. And so when I seen that, I was like, oh yeah, he definitely tried to pull off his best beast mode impersonation. But Legend, what was going through your head when you dove into the end zone to celebrate like that?
That game, we was low. It was 8-0 the whole game. Then my coach, Real Truth Braxton, told me, "Legend, you need to go score that ball." He said, "I'm giving you the ball." Took it. He told me to just run. And I was gone.
And gone you was. Because, I mean, you just weaving through the entire defense. Nobody touched you, I don't believe. I mean, maybe they had a couple of arm tackles or whatnot, but man, nobody was even close to bring you down. So when I seen that, I was like, my goodness, like how old was this kid? How old were you on that play?
I was 11.
You were 11?
Yes, sir.
Man, and you 14 right now.
Yes.
You about to enter high school?
Yes.
Okay, for sure, bro. Well, I mean, so we talked about the beginning. When did you start playing football competitively? Like at what age?
I was about 8. I played for the Park
At
Forest
8 years
Hurricanes
old.
in Chicago.
In Chicago.
Yes, sir.
But you from Texas though, right? So how'd you make it out to Chicago?
No, I'm from Chicago.
Oh, you from Chicago?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, where do you like it better, Chicago or Texas?
I say Texas.
Texas? Well, because of the
Yes.
warmer weather, right?
Yes. And it's better for football.
It's better. Yeah,
Everything's
that's
better.
right. As far as competition, right? And as far as facing like the best of the best.
Yes, sir.
So okay, no doubt about that. Legend, bro. Well, I gotta ask. I mean, you just wrapped up, your middle school playing career. What are some of your favorite highlights? Some of your favorite moments? What was the biggest thing you took away from your middle school career playing football?
It was really just I know I had to learn my mechanics more. I had to
Uh-huh.
get my feet work right. I had to get my throw motion better. So right now I'm with Q Beast right now.
Okay.
All right, and I'm throwing the ball. He's helping me get my motions better, and that's what I really need to focus on in middle school and high school going now.
I mean, hey, I think one thing you don't necessarily have to put in as much effort in. I'm not saying don't practice it, but if I'm not mistaken, you told me that you were in a 4.40
Yes, sir.
at the age of 14.
Yes.
Man, that's wild. I know for me, I'm a retired athlete, but that's already faster than me. So that's and you're already faster than a bunch of players in the NFL. So obviously, we want to be humble, right? And I know I seen this in your bio. You talked about how, and I like this too because I'm a believer myself. But you said that you're a 14-year-old Christ-centered student athlete, and so when I seen that, I was like, okay, yeah, he know what's up. You know what I mean? And so, and again, I want to preface this by saying that I know we want to stay humble, but knowing that you're only 14 years old, knowing that you're just now about to enter high school, but you that fast. I mean, you had the nickname hashtag Godspeed for a reason. Like anytime you step on the field, is it just to the point where you think you can outrun everybody out there?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
God given speed.
God given speed. Man, that's so okay. So when you were 11 and when you ran that play, the one that we was talking about earlier, was your 40-yard dash the same or was it slower back then?
I think it was start running a 4.54 then.
4.54.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What kind of workouts do you do to kind of get that speed up?
I just jump rope really.
A lot of jump rope.
Yes, sir.
Man, that's wild. Okay. Well, I mean, was there anything else in your middle school career that stood out to you?
Not really. My stiff arm.
You still you stiff arm? Okay, no doubt. Hey, bro, I seen a whole bunch of your highlights. You definitely out there doing your Dougie. Do you have a favorite NFL player? I feel like whenever I watch you, Lamar Jackson comes to mind.
That's my favorite.
That's your favorite player?
Yes, sir.
I bet. Are you a Ravens fan then?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. No doubt. No doubt. I mean, hey, I'm looking forward to him bouncing back, and I hope he does. But yeah, you definitely remind me a lot of Lamar Jackson, and so hey, keep going, young fella. Um, Now I want to transition towards this, but I know off air we talked about how a couple of weeks ago, and I think I seen this on your Instagram. You received your first offer, your first college scholarship offer from none other than Texas Tech. So tell me, bro, talk to me. How did that go?
So we had workouts that morning, right?
Right.
Then my coach, Malcolm, Coach Malcolm Hill,
Uh huh.
he told me we had a call at 10 o'clock. So after workouts and skills, he told me to come to the coach's office.
Right.
And I go in there, I take my seat, and Coach Jones is on the phone. And he starts talking to my coach, and my coach tells him what kind of student and athlete I am, and he offers me.
Man, that's. I mean, because I'm pretty sure you're aware of some of the players who play for Texas Tech, right? I mean, Patrick
Yes, sir.
Mahomes. So that's crazy to think about, bro. I mean, I know it's early, but do you have a dream school?
OU.
Oh, you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no doubt. I can see why. I can see why. But speaking of colleges, I mean, you also told me that LSU they want to meet you.
Yes.
How'd you
Yes,
react to
sir.
that?
It made me feel great. Like I came from Chicago, from nothing, having nothing, to
Uh huh.
being me now.
Man, that's wild. I want to go back to that play from earlier because I totally forgot to ask, but I forgot to mention that, bro. That play in which you kind of pulled off that beast mode celebration at the end, that was named the top five, or it was named in the top five at number 5 in our top 10 football plays from the month of April. So upon hearing that, what was your initial reaction to that? And then what were people around you saying about it?
Right at that moment, y'all had posted it. Everybody started coming up to me like, "Legend, go look at Press Sports. Go look at Press Sports." And I looked, and I was up there, top 10. Felt great.
Oh, great. Okay. Hey, when we gonna see you back in the top 10?
What was that?
When are we gonna see you in the top 10 again?
Today, this year.
Today? Hey man,
This
hey,
year.
that's why I love to hear that. That's music to my ears. Um, what's it called? So you're leaving middle school, you're entering high school. Do you have any specific goals for your freshman year of high school statistically? Even outside of athletics, do you have any sort of goals entering high school? What are you most looking forward to entering high school?
I just really want to lead people to do the right thing. I want to make people better people, not even just on the field, off the field too.
Off the field. Okay, so
So,
on the field, I think, for a lot of us that play football, that played football, that know football, we know what that looks like. But off the field, what does that look like to you?
me personally, I just go to school, do my work, and people if they need help, I'll help them.
Okay. Okay, bet. That's all right. That's what's up, bro. I mean, hey, like I talked about earlier, like we talked about, not only are you a Christ Center student athlete, but you a student athlete. So that student comes in front of that athlete. So at least your mind's right heading into high school. What do you think is gonna be the biggest challenge upon entering high school?
I'd say like all the people coming up, just try to knock me on guard, make me on focus.
Okay. Okay. How do you plan on fighting that or combating that?
God, praying, keep
God,
praying.
praying. Keep praying. Hey, that's a lovely answer. I love to hear that, bro. From a fellow believer, that's music to my ears. Um, Obviously, you're real good at football, right? So do you have aspirations of getting into the NFL, getting into the Hall of Fame, being a star in the NFL, whatnot? Is that like the dream job?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you watch a lot of ESPN? Do you watch a lot of that sports media stuff?
Yes, sir, for sure.
Okay, so I'd assume that you'd have aspirations of landing in ESPN's top 10 or like Bleacher Report's top 10 and things of that nature.
Yes, sir.
Okay, no doubt, no doubt, bro. Man, okay, so we've touched on a lot of things. So earlier we talked about that one play that landed you in the top 10 of Press Sports' top highlights. Now I want to talk about another highlight. And if you remember, bro, I showed you that one video that I think you posted on the app of you working in the rain. So is that a typical thing that you do? You work out in the rain?
Yes, made me feel like Tarzan.
Man, because earlier I know you talked to me about how you woke up at 5 this morning. Do you wake up at 5 every morning?
Yes, sir.
Even during the summertime?
Yes, routine.
It's routine.
Yes, sir.
Man, talk about grinding for real. You got to be one of the more mature 14-year-olds I ever talked to. Because I remember when I was 14, I mean, I didn't have that discipline. I didn't have that drive or that motivation. So, hey, young man, you in a good place right now. And props to your parents. Props to the people around you. Because I could tell, they've kind of rounded you and they've kind of helped to mold you into this brilliant young man with a bright future. You're very well, what's it called? You're respected, and you know how to handle yourself, and so I can most definitely appreciate that. But while we're talking about the subject of Press Sports, real quick, Legend, I mean, the floor is yours, bro. What's your Press Sports username, and be sure to let the fans out there know to fan you up.
Oh yeah, it's just really just Legend Bay.
Legend Bay,
Yes, sir. Legend Bay 7.
Legend Bay 7, and then 7's your number, right?
What was that?
Is 7 your football number?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why is there any sort of significance to that number, or did you kind of just pick it?
I mean, Puka Williams put me on that number.
Okay. Okay, no doubt, no doubt. I mean, you talked about how Lamar is your favorite player. Do you have any plans of potentially switching to his number come high school?
Yes, I used to be number 8.
Used to be number 8. Okay. Okay, for sure, bro. And I want to, just because I'm curious, I'm gonna backtrack just a little bit. But you know how in the intro I talked about how you were ranked, or you are ranked, as the number one dual threat quarterback in the class of 2026. So when you hear that statement, what's your first thought? What are your first thoughts? What's your first reaction upon hearing something like that?
I mean, I just really got to stay humble. It's just like it's like I'm not trying to make it. I'm not trying to be Hollywood or anything. I'm like cool with everybody. I don't want to act mean or be rude to people. It's just we all human.
There you go. Hey, that's right. Hey, we all created equally. Man, hey, you way too mature for a 14-year-old, man. Sometimes that's wild. I'm curious though, because I feel like, a lot of players sometimes when they're, sometimes when they're younger, they're not always aware of, some of the, I don't want to say weaknesses, but for lack of a better term, weaknesses in their game. And we might have touched on this earlier, Legend, but going into high school, what's the number one thing you want to work on so that you ensure that it's not a weakness come high school?
My throwing game, my passing game.
Passing game. So when you say passing game, are you talking about, like, I know earlier you mentioned your mechanics. Are you talking about your arm strength? Are you talking about your arm accuracy? Are you talking about your ball placement?
I'm talking about my deep balls.
Your deep balls?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's the furthest you can throw a football down the field?
I probably like 60, 70.
60, 70. Okay, boy. I see you. I see you. All right, well, Legend, now we're going to transition into, I guess we talked about press sports already, but bro, you verified on the app. You've been using it for some time now. Why do you use it? How'd you get into it?
I seen it on Instagram and somebody told me about it, and I logged in. Then I started getting a lot of fans after I posted this one video. I'm
Right.
not sure what video it was, but yeah, I got a lot of views and a lot of fires.
A lot of fires.
And then a lot of people, like people was telling me to start posting more, so I started posting. Then I woke up one day and I was verified on there.
Just randomly? You just randomly woke up one day?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, hey, you verified for a reason, fella. You out there doing your thing. So, hey, I'm proud of you, bro. Keep doing your thing. Obviously, as you know, though, there's thousands and thousands of other users, of all ages that use the app, whether that's an athlete, whether that's a coach, whether that's a scout, whether that's a media member. What sort of advice do you have for people in your position, for people in your age group to make it out of your sport?
You gotta work. You gotta no days off at all. Like
No days
I
off.
don't care how tired you are, you gotta keep working.
Right. You ever heard of the phrase "work smarter, not harder"?
Yes.
So for me, I never really I never really came to terms with that phrase, because whenever I heard that, I was like, nah, you got to work smarter and you got to work harder. So from the sound of it, it sounds like you working harder and you working smarter. Is that a fair
Yes,
assessment?
yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have a favorite motivational quote?
I don't really think I do.
You don't think you do? Okay. All right, for sure. I mean, I'm just asking because I'm real huge on motivational quotes. I write them down all the time. Sure, I got them on sticky notes. I have them on my desk, and just, yeah, things of that nature. So yeah, that's definitely something I get into. But hey, Legend, you know what they say, man. Time flies when you're having fun. So before we wrap up this interview, I want to give you the floor one more time to all the fans out there. Shout out your press sports username, your Instagram, your Twitter, any sort of announcements that you have, anything that you want the fans to know, just anything you want to say. Floor is yours.
You can follow me on Instagram at Legend Bey 7. My Twitter is just Legend Bey. Um, it's Legend Bey 7 on Twitter actually.
Mhm.
And I just put a lot of my workouts on there for everybody. My TikTok is also Legend_Bey.
Mhm.
My TikTok is where I post for everybody to like for workouts they could do and stuff to help them get better. I want to see everybody make it really.
You want to see everybody win. Hey, well said from a young man, from the young man Legend Bey himself. So hey, you guys, if you're tuned in, thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Be sure to fan him up though on the app. We're gonna have his Press Sports profile right here on the screen. Y'all will see it. Be sure to fan him up. If you haven't already, be sure to download that Press Sports app, man. Like he talked about, one day he just woke up and he was verified. He was posting highlights, doing all sorts of things on the football field. So if you want to get noticed, if you want to start getting more exposure, be sure to download that app. Start posting your highlights today. But again, this is Legend Bay. I'm your host, Calvin Domingo, aka Steezy A. Smith with Press Sports. Hope you guys have a great night and be easy.